All right, everyone. I always like to see myself here. There we go. It just helps me to orientate myself. So um, this is our project to digital analytics. I'm going to walk you through it um, and make sure that we are on the same page with what's expected for this particular project. So hopefully you got it started at least. I'm all about design. I have a design mind. It's a global type of a brain. Some people are linear. They're more linear. And that's why you have a project in this fashion, because you should be sequentially going through these steps one by one by one, right? And as you go through them, the one leads to the next. Okay, the one leads to the next. But at the same time, I mentioned the global piece because you need to understand that as you complete each of these elements, they don't always stay the same. I'll say that again. Sometimes you have to refine an area so that it aligns better and it meets the whole. I'll give you an example as we walk through. So, the focus of the project is to get at least 2 streams in and focus on what's called key performance indicators. It's up here. Now, key performance indicators are getting an introduction to it, but they're the key drivers in any business. Usually a business would have traction. Okay, usually they would have traction before they start implementing a KPI, let's say. We're actually implementing it. However, when you're just starting up, it's important to have key performance indicators outlined. So a bigger business would be refining the KPIs. Does that make sense? So every business would start essentially with some goals or some performance indicators that they think it's a hypothesis. They think it's going to happen. If we get 10 customers per day, we will be successful. Something as simple as that. If we get 20 viewers on this day at this time, we will be successful. If I start at this time and I end at this time, I will be successful. Does that make sense? So it's a particular key performance thing that will lead to some outcome that you are desiring. That's what a key performance indicator is. Okay, so which streaming platform are you going to use? That's basically what this one says. And why? Describe it. Because I'm going to choose Twitch because most of my viewers are on Twitch. I'm going to use PlayStation, and I will stream it through this service because that's where my users are, or my customers, clients. Okay, so identify the goals of your stream and describe how they may be accomplished through key performance indicators. So again, in your head, you're just mapping it out. It's just a sketch. You just sketch it in your head. And so your goals clearly are, I want to achieve 10 viewers on my first stream. And the reason is because I believe if I have 10, that'd be pretty successful. Okay, I've accomplished that. But there's usually like more goals than just the one. So at least have, 2 or 3. If you have more, power to you. But don't have more than like 4 or 5. That's too many. Describe your content and your audience history with the content. So, Drunk Lads, for example, with our guy Owen, he says his audience are people that really enjoy his show. They like them being goofy. I had a talk to him, and we talked about how being goofy and being comical can be very therapeutic. And so he has a history of doing the Drunk Lad show with his buddy, and he's got a following, right? So he can talk about that. And you talk about life events, and they make fun of life events, and you do memes, and you do all types of really cool stuff and giveaways. So talk about that. Talk about who your audience is. Part 2, complete at least 2 full streams that are at least 10 minutes long. That means they can be 20 minutes, they could be 30, they could be an hour, they could be 11 minutes. But you need at least 10 minutes of content so that you get into some type of a rhythm. Okay. In fact, you probably need about 20. But if it's at least 10 minutes long, you get some substantial amount of data that you can use. I want to see a screenshot of the streams. Okay. Obviously, the links would be very important too. So I didn't put that in here, but make sure you have the links, obviously, to the streams themselves, because that would be really, really dope. All right. I want to see it. Provide links that says next. So that's next. Provide the links. Identify at least 3 performance indicators. This is where you formally outline, these are my key performance indicators. Now, let me be clear. When you do your first one, it's just a sketch. It's like, I think we need these things. When you move from the first to the second, you'll actually find out some things and they can change. Does that make sense? So you just sketched them out for the first time, but as you go from 1 to 2, and then 2 to 3 and 3 to 4 and 5, they change, they evolve, and that's fine. Sometimes you drop some, add another one. You might find out things. My job is to make you take the first couple of steps. So take the steps. Identify a measurement tool. So this part, you can use Twitch analytics or Instagram analytics. I don't know about Instagram analytics. I'm not familiar with that. Facebook analytics. Let's say if you're streaming on Facebook, maybe there are Google analytics for YouTube. I'm not really sure. Twitch analytics. You can use those, but you need to make sense of it, and you better make some good sense of it, because I'm going to ask you, does this make sense for what you're trying to accomplish? Okay. Don't just throw up some baloney. Yeah. But you can also do what Emily does, which is she does them by hand, because she has complete control and customization over what she's looking for and what she's looking to improve. So it's more targeted as opposed to a hodgepodge. So you have those 2 options. I also put, and I can show you, I also put a filled out digital media marketing sheet. It's called the resource, and that's located. And I did all the quizzes, so you'll see those all done. All right, all the quizzes are done. So 2.2 and 2.3 are done. But right here, digital media marketing analytics, research. Maybe I'll put it here. There we go. That's the resource. And you know what? I'll do you even one better. Live. Filled out analytics chart. Okay, there you go. It's filled out analytics chart sitting right there in 2.2, and it's for you. Not only that, I also put it directly in the assignment. So if you go to project 2, and actually this should say Dropbox. You see this right here? Digital animation example. And let's change it. It's going to be filled out template, right? Something like that. What do I call it up here? Filled out analytics chart. It's called the same thing. Analytics chart update. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. And you will find this video located right in 2.3, I want to say. Yeah, I'll put it in 2.3, and I'll also put it right here. Okay, for you. It'll be in the assignment. Build a visual support or infographic. We always want to see infographics and statistics. Do a peer evaluation. That's the third part. That's pretty straightforward. Each one of these are in turn. Do them sequentially. Ask me questions if you need to. But you're ready for this. These 3 are really what you need to actually complete this. The other 2 are really nice to knows, and they're important information, but you guys are ready to go. So rock and roll.